Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Zoning Board of Adjustment for March 6th. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Liberty, justice for all. All righty, and let's see here. Let's start off with some introductions. To my far left, please.
Richard Tripp.
Crystal Morin, Secretary.
And I'm Lynn Perkins, the chair.
Craig Corbett, Vice Chair.
Donald Burgess, member.
Bob Wentworth, Code Enforcement.
Thank you, Mr. Wentworth. And Lucy Peoples is our clerk. She'll be in the back taking the notes and the minutes for the evening. And please shut off your cell phones, iPhones, iPads, anything that creates a distraction to the proceedings. And in the event of an emergency, please exit to the rear room and we'll save you. Don't use the elevator. And we're scheduled to terminate at 10 p.m. And we are audio-video recorded. So that being said, we have a light evening. We have representation for Martin D. Ozier, and that is case number 25-106. And representing him is James Lavelle Company, LLS. And we'll have an introduction.
Okay.
You would be...
Hello, members of the board. For the record, Ryan Lavelle with Lavelle Associates.
Very good. Welcome, Mr. Lavelle.
All right.
We've enjoyed having your grandfather here from time to time,
Oh, yes.
and I hope we have a good experience with yourself as
Oh,
well.
I'm sure you will.
You recognize our protocols. We ask that you read the 5 criteria for the record.
Yep.
Open up with that. And then we'll give you some latitude to do whatever you need to do, and we'll barrage you with questions. How's that?
Okay, that sounds good. So you want me to start with the criteria?
I would, please. Yep.
All right. I'm going to go with number 1. The variance will not be contrary to the public interest because granting this variance will promote a more functional and reasonable layout of the land for residential development in line with the zoning ordinance's goal of ensuring orderly development. By consolidating the 2 lots and adjusting the lot boundaries, we will create appropriately sized parcels, especially with the next step being a lot line change at the planning board that allow for the residential use in an area already designated for such development, with all surrounding properties of about the same size predating the current zoning ordinance. This adjustment will not negatively affect the surrounding neighborhood, but will provide a more cohesive and usable space, enhancing the overall character and development potential of the area. Number 2, spirit of the ordinance is observed because spirit of the ordinance is to foster proper and orderly development within residential areas. While the proposed lots will remain non-conforming in terms of width, frontage, size, etc., consolidating and adjusting the boundaries will resolve existing non-conformities from pre-zoning conditions. This action will better align the property with current zoning standards, particularly for residential use, by improving the overall usability of the lots. The proposed adjustments will maintain the character of the neighborhood while still promoting more efficient and functional development. The property is technically able to have 3 dwellings. The intent is to increase the size and have 2 lots at the end, and this helps with that goal. Substantial justice is done because granting this variance will allow the applicant to consolidate and adjust the lot boundaries, thereby improving the overall development potential of the property. The adjustment will create a large lot with the purposes of going to the planning board afterwards to create 2 equal-sized properties with all the available land to the owner. These residential parcels will better support a new single-family dwelling, as well as necessary infrastructure such as septic system and well. This will not only enhance the usability of the land, but also bring it closer to compliance with zoning requirements, thereby serving both the applicant's needs and the community's interests in maintaining a well-organized residential area. Number 4, the value of the surrounding properties are not diminished because the requested variance will not diminish the value of the surrounding properties. In fact, by consolidating the lots and improving the land's layout, the development will create more viable and appropriately sized parcels for residential use, contributing positively to the neighborhood's character. The improved layout and consolidation will enhance the overall appeal of the development, ensuring that it is compatible with existing surrounding properties and in keeping with the residential nature of the area. 5, literary enforcement of the provisions of the ordinance would result in unnecessary hardship. No fair and substantial relationship exists between the general public purposes of the ordinance provision and the specific application of that provision to the property. The property is unique in that it consists of pre-existing non-conforming lots that were created before zoning regulations were in place. The lots, which only have 47.13 feet of frontage, are smaller than that of the 200 feet required, as well as the width, size, and Collette's Grove Road's classification. Strict enforcement of the ordinance would prevent reasonable development of the property for residential purposes. Consolidating and adjusting the lot boundaries will better serve the public interest by creating more appropriately sized parcels and ensuring the land is used efficiently for its intended purpose. The proposed use is a reasonable one. The proposed lot line adjustment and consolidation are reasonable because they will allow the property to be developed as a residential area in line with the neighborhood's established zoning. The changes will allow the parcels to better support single-family dwellings, each with the necessary infrastructure such as septic systems and wells, making the property more suitable for residential development. Next one, property cannot be reasonably used in strict conformance with the ordinance, and a variance is therefore necessary to enable a reasonable use of it. Due to the pre-existing non-conforming nature of the property, it cannot reasonably be used in strict conformance with the zoning ordinance. The lots are undersized with only 47.13 feet of frontage where 200 is required, as well as width, lot size, and road classification that it sits on. Without the proposed adjustments, the property cannot be developed in a way that supports residential use as intended. Therefore, the variance is necessary to allow for reasonable use of the property, bringing it closer to compliance with zoning requirements and enabling it to be developed efficiently and effectively.
So this parcel has a story background to it, right? You care to start there and
Yeah.
explain where how you came to be of this?
We'll start at the beginning. My client, whom is in the audience, bought this property. It's a fixer-upper, if you will, disrepair, and is in the process of fixing it up. With the deed that he was given, it was noted that there were 3 parcels that this one house was sitting on. With that information, my client wanted us to have the lots voluntarily merged, so we went before town council and we had them separated into the 3 as intended on the subdivision plan and the deeds, etc. Not with the intent to keep the existing dwelling there and build 2 other houses. The area is just too small to support 3 homes. So the idea behind this variance and why we're here before you is we want to end up with 2 equal size parcels at the end here. So this variance won't do that, but it'll allow us to then submit to the planning board with all the necessary variances that we hope to be granted and do it the right way, really.
When was the involuntary merger noted?
I tried to check in with the town about that, and they didn't know. They stated that a lot of the times when it's, 3 separate tax bills going to the property over time, that, they just end up sending one, and that's how they did it. It
Sure.
wasn't voluntary by any means.
Just by chance, did it narrow down anything prior to 1974 or after 1974?
I'm not sure.
Not at
I'm
all.
really not sure.
Okay. Anybody else want to ask questions? Mr. Corbett?
Yep, just to clarify, so do you say historically it went from 2 lots to 1, then you guys just had it switch to the 3, and now we're looking to go to 2, or was it 3 to 1?
So the property was getting taxed as one
Yeah, but it went
lot, right?
3 originally to 1?
Yes,
Okay.
3 at some point, right?
Then to 1.
1. And
it.
then
now we're gonna
we
go
got it in
Back to 3.
back to 3. And again, intent is to get it to 2 equal sized, fix up the existing dwelling, fix all infrastructure, new septic system on the existing home, new septic system and well on the proposed home. Just want to clean up the area, really.
Thank you. Just kind of metamorphosis of it confused me a little bit. So thank you.
It confused us at first too, but I'm glad that we've taken the necessary steps to get to the point where we are tonight with it,
Mr. Tripp?
So, excuse me. Are most of the lots out there the 50 by 100?
All of them were intended to be 50 by 100, and whether or not somebody's house is sitting on 2 lots or 3 lots like this over time, but the subdivision plat had them all 50 by 100 down all of these Colette Grove lanes. There's, lane 6, 7, 5, 3, and you'll see that on the bottom of our plan, there's Colette's Grove unbuilt lane. There's a small little right-of-way behind our property that was never built. It was just all these lanes getting put in with these 50 by 100 lots, and this is where we are now.
How far back did this plat, when was it established? Just rough estimate. Late 1700s?
Remember if I had a plan reference on here.
18.
I don't think I did, but I thought it was in the 50s.
Okay.
The 50s.
Is what I want to say.
Mr. Tripp again?
The, are most of the roads out there private roads?
I think they all are technically the private roads.
Okay. So there's, it'd be difficult to build a house with 150 feet of frontage on a road when there are no roads.
Right. Right. It's a unique situation because the lots are there. It's, and the intent, obviously, we don't want to build those tiny homes on the other 2 lots and try to do it that way. It's just just makes way more sense to both me and the owner.
And the reason they were consolidated was the tax
I'm assuming for
the
tax
collector
reasons.
got tired of sending 3 notices.
That's when I see these. That's usually the reason.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's history of the date of when it was, and sometimes there isn't.
Yeah.
That was the first thing that, with correspondence with Derry, was, can you find out, when it happened? And I reached out to all departments, and they couldn't find the voluntary merger, so they make the assumption that it was involuntary merge at some point. They check their files to see, as far as they go back, was it voluntarily merged at some point? And there was no record of that. So then they assume that it was involuntarily merged, if that makes sense.
So what is the effect of involuntarily merging the lots?
The real effect really is that it just gets one tax bill.
That's the only effect?
Yeah, and I mean, as long as they can be gotten back, like in our case, I mean, it's no harm done.
So is it safe to assume there's 3 deeds?
There was 2 deeds. One had 1 lot, one had 2 on it. And I think I provided that to the town and stuff too.
Well, I just want people to understand that.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the lots is 100 by 100, and the other is 50 by 100.
It's 3 lots. So in essence, one person was conveying 100 by 100, but it was 2 lots, and one person was conveying 50 by 100, and it was 1.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What's up, Mr. Tripp?
Yeah.
I'm all set.
Okay, Mr. Burgess?
Yeah, the only, in my mind, okay, the only question I have is, why don't you go to the zoning board first to get the lot adjustment, then we just come back to us? I mean, he's here now, but it seems like we're doing it backwards. That's all.
You're welcome to answer to that, Mr. Lavelle.
I was told by Derry to do it this way.
Okay.
I passed in, how I knew that I needed to go to zoning, let's put it that way, is that after we got our 3 lots back, I did a plan, which I believe you guys have. It's not the one up there. It's the
Second
other
page.
one that I plan on going to planning board with. I passed that in with fees and everything to the planning board, and they got back to me saying, whoa, 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 you got to get these variances first, and then come back to us. And that's how I spoke with Derry, and they said, okay, the first thing you need to do is we need to talk to town council, and we need to get them back. We did that. I went to go to planning board. It got thrown back at me. I applied for these variances.
All right.
I'm here, and then I will go back to planning board afterwards. And we just wanted to try to do it the most clean way, and however Derry wanted to do it, and whatever was the legalese way to do it, was the way that we wanted to do it.
Yeah, I think one of the questions is the private road, right? That becomes the first key to where their relief needs to be sought, and then you've got the undersized lots and the frontages. So those need to be cleaned up before planning board could look at the
Yeah, these-
Exactly.
redevelopment of the
Exactly.
parcels.
This isn't something we haven't seen before. It's just most of
Could
the
you
lots
speak in the
down there-
microphone?
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, I make that, most of the time.
We'll give Mr. Tripp a wad of newspaper for your nose next time.
Most of the time, we've seen these same things where these lots are undersized and they've been that way since forever.
Where is the frontage, which of the two is the private road? Is it lane 6 or just
It's
the
lane
unbuilt?
6. As I alluded to earlier, what calls out to be Collette's Grove unbuilt lane is just that. It's more of a footpath, really, and the frontage is coming from Collette's Grove Road, lane 6. I don't think that unbuilt lane would classify as any sort of frontage for the property. That's
So-
why we were asking for the relief on the
So lane 6 is the private road?
Right.
Essentially, and I'm sure they're all private roads.
I think every Collette's Grove in there is technically private, and
And lane 6 is the common passageway for all the other homes in the area, am I correct?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's one of them. Yeah,
And there's many homes down in there. at
many,
this
many.
point. Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Obimba, anything?
No questions for now.
Mr. Dietzel? No, thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Burgess, you all set?
Yeah.
Mr. Tripp? Mrs. Moran, you have anything?
I'm all set at this time.
Okay. Just offhand, do you happen to know what the assessor's notes on this were relative to the town council's review?
I don't. I
Just
don't.
curious. As Mr. Burgess points out, we don't see many of these. However, often when they happen, they come in groups. So this is a second similar circumstance, so it's always good to be familiar with the reasoning and the background to it for precedent reasons. But let me see, Mr. Wentworth, filling in for Mr. Mackey, you have anything you care to shed light on?
Seems pretty cut and dry.
Okay.
Sorry?
You know, one of the notes, this is in, I forget which the zone is here, what is that zone?
It's in LDR.
LDR, right, which is everything, which is the 200 feet of frontage with 3 acres, right?
Yep.
And we've known for quite a while that since this area became an LDR, that it really doesn't fit with much of the landscape in that part of the town.
It's tough. I could imagine that when people are trying to do things on these lots, that they may need to come to you guys quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, this zoning goes right out onto the corridor for Highland Pond, and of course, we've had a few cases from that as well. And some of those cases were more appropriate in size, where people were trying to develop more off of that. However, noting that you have a historical record here going back to the 50s, and a lot of these lots in and around lake areas and whatnot were developed as escapes for people from the busier areas of the state, this state and the Commonwealth. So.
The way that I always look at these is it's kind of the evolution of the camp, how all these probably ended up were camp
Sure.
lots, and some of the homes even still look like camps in there, and eventually it all catches up to all of us.
And myself, I've had the experience of having property that, in and around a lake, and all the lots were 25 by 50s.
Right.
And you see the accumulation of all those lots creating large enough for a home, not just a tent. And sometimes you look at the movement of all the 25 by 50 foot lots, and they look like they're traded on poker games 4th of July weekend, so.
I need to hang out with you.
Yeah. Well, with those comes headaches, right? But
Yep.
anyway. Anything else, Mr. Lavelle?
I'm good for now. I appreciate it.
Okay. All right, well, let's make a call to public, and anybody who wishes to speak in favor of this application, this would be your opportunity to come forward. And likewise, we have phone numbers posted for those who are remote and wish to call in and speak in favor of this. Those phone numbers are posted, Mr. Provencher? Yeah. Mr. Corbett, if you wish to speak to those.
Yep. Anybody at home who wishes to dial in, you're going to dial 646-558-8656. Your meeting ID is 323-909-140. Once you're in, you're going to press star 9 to raise your hand. And if you're having any technical issues, you're going to dial 603-845-5585, and someone will help you.
Okay, very good. So that call was to anybody who wishes to speak in favor of this. Anybody out there, Mr. Provencher? All right, good enough. And so we'll make a call to anybody who wishes to oppose this application. This would be your opportunity to come forward. And seeing no one rushing forward here in the room, likewise remotely? That is correct. All right, it looks like we've satisfied our statutes there. So that being said, if there's no other questions, Mr. Lavelle, you have anything else you wish to add?
I don't.
I think we were banking on this being a 2-hour case. You want us to stretch it out, or?
There's so many people behind me, I think. It's all good.
Think of the people.
I make the motion that we go into deliberative session.
All right.
Did we make a call to oppose and
I'm sorry?
did we check both on the phone?
We did, yeah. There's nobody out there for this one.
Good.
So that one being the case, we can take a motion to go into deliberative.
I made the motion.
Mr. Burgess makes the call. Could I have a second, please?
I'll second that.
Mr. Tripp makes a second for deliberation. All in favor of deliberation, say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right. So, anybody wish to start on this? Mr. Burgess, you start.
Mr. Burgess, like I said previously, this isn't something we haven't seen before, where these lots are undersized and everybody around him is pretty much undersized. He's making the lots bigger if he gets the approval of the planning board to make the lot adjustments. So I don't see anything really wrong with this.
Mm-hmm. Okay, anybody else, Mr. Tripp?
Nope, it's one of these things that, what used to be acceptable for, people that own these lots, lot-wise size, is people want a little more, and, so they're gradually becoming 100 by 100s, or, 150 by 50, or hundreds, but, it's just a matter of evolution, consolidation, as they say.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Corbett?
And this one's definitely unique historically. I think this feels more, of all of the cases that we've heard, this one feels more administrative than the other ones. You know, to go from 3 to 1 to 3 to 2. I think, 1 to 2 could have just been done. So it makes sense, looking at the 2 variances that they need, requiring that each lot faces on an approved street.
Yep.
We're going to be facing that no matter what happens on this road. So I don't really have any concerns there. It is an existing road. It's not like some of the dirt roads that we've seen before. And then as far as the second one, that it doesn't have the required lot area, frontage and lot width, I understand that normally going from, I feel like the other 1 to 3s that we've seen in that scenario are different. This one, I also look at it that even if it were just that 1 to remain, they still wouldn't have met the requirements. Now it is 3. I feel that that's, I don't want to say it's unusable, but it's not great. So I think the 2 is the best use of this. I have no issues with it.
Mrs. Moore?
I feel it's a reasonable request. I like the 3 better than the 2, so in that.
2 better than 3.
What?
2 better than 3.
Yes, I like the 2 better than the 3, sorry.
So, yeah, and I concur that none of these would fit the current zoning as it is, and And so some relief would have to be given there. And this is one of those examples where, you know, in the town's wishes and their construction of, you know, off the master plan and so forth, they can, you know, they try to develop something that's, you know, over a broad area, and the broad area doesn't always fit, similar to what we saw in the West Running Brook District a couple of months ago. So I think this is appropriate relief, and I don't think it's unreasonable. I think it's reasonable, and so I can certainly support this. Let's look at structuring the motion. We typically have subject to obtaining all state, town, and permits and inspections. Did we see anywhere in here that we need to do a municipal waiver?
Yes.
Yes.
We do see that, all right.
Yep.
Sometimes we talk about that in the motion, sometimes it's presumed with town permits and inspections. We can make it a separate condition, which I think I'd like to do, just so it's on the record. So let's, on that condition number 2, subject to municipal waiver of liability. And I think that would suit me on the overall construction of the motion. Does anybody else have anything they wish to add?
I mean, it's two variances, but I think the one motion is fine, you know, based on how much they play into each other.
Yep, I would concur on that. I think if everybody is happy with the construction, the template of or draft of the motion, I think we can exit deliberation.
Make that motion.
Mr. Corbett makes the motion.
I'll second it.
Mr. Burgess makes a second. Thank you. All in favor of exiting deliberation, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing nothing there, we can, Mrs. Moran, you have a motion to read.
I do, thank you. I make a motion on case number 25-106 for James M. LaValle, LLS, owner Martin D. Auger, to grant a variance to the terms of Article 3, Section 165-9, and Article 6, Section 165-48.b.1, 2, and 3 of the Town of Derry zoning ordinance to allow the properties to be subdivided into 2 lots after they have been consolidated. The proposed lots will have less than the required area, frontage, and width, and will be located on a private way. Parcel ID 19065 and 19065-001, zoned LDR, as presented with the following conditions. We have 2. 1, subject to obtaining all state and town permits and inspections. 2, subject to municipal waiver of liability and responsibility must be recorded. And that concludes the motion. I need a second.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Tripp. So that puts that motion on the floor for consideration, and now we have the finding of fact. Mr. Corbett.
Yep, the finding of fact for case 25-106. The board found that the applicants are seeking to consolidate the 3 lots and subsequently subdivide the consolidated parcels into 2 lots. 2 variances are being requested. First is that the proposed lots are located on a private way, and Article 3, Section 165-9 requires that each lot face on an approved street. And second, that the proposed lots will not have the required lot area, frontage, or lot width as required by Article 6, Section 165-48.b.1 and 2 and 3. One of the lots will contain the existing dwelling, and the other is proposed to be a building lot. The properties are and will be serviced by private wells and septic systems. Prior to the issuance of a building permit for the newly created lot, a municipal waiver of liability and responsibility must be recorded with the deed. And the board also includes all facts found in the meeting minutes for this application and incorporates all meeting minutes into its finding of facts and decisions. Does anybody have any addendums or edits to make?
Seeing no gestures there, so that motion was on the floor. All in favor of moving the motion for a vote, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none. Mr. Corbett,
I vote yes.
Mrs. Moran,
Chair, I vote yes.
Mr. Tripp,
I vote yes.
Mr. Burgess.
I'll vote yes.
Very well. The chair will make it unanimous by a vote of 5-0. Congratulations to Mr. Ogier, and thank you, Mr. Lavelle. It's good to have you
Thank you, members of
here.
the board. I appreciate it.
All right, anybody aggrieved
Have a
by
good night.
this has 30 days to ask for a reconsideration. After that, recourse is Superior Court.
Take care.
Have a good evening. All right, it doesn't look like we have any correspondence, huh? No letters, no town and city magazine? Oh, there was? A letter?
Dun, dun, dun.
And 91A.
Well, thank you very much. Oh. All righty, reminder, we have no cases at this time for March 20th. Huh? Okay. And we will have a postponement on April, first meeting in April, too. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. So we'll have a slow spring. The New Hampshire Planning and Zoning Conference is May 10th, Saturday, May 10th. It's an all-day event. And if anybody wishes to, thank you, wishes to attend, you can work through Lucy Peoples, and she'll help you register. That conference is often pretty involved, just one of the courses they talk about is case law, and it provides some of the training that we ask our members to do in our policies, just to stay tuned in and tuned up. So we'd had a tentative workshop scheduled on Wednesday, May 14th. That's here in the town hall, and it was combined with the planning board. That was bumped back to Thursday, May 22nd at 6:30, and that's a 2-hour event, and it's easier to take in than a whole day on a Saturday in May. So do one or the other if you would. This one is picked up with no expense. The Saturday event is an expense that the town takes care of to make sure that its members are well-versed in land use matters. So,
Can we say yes now?
to which one?
In other words, telling you that, yes, I'll be here for the 22nd if that's it.
Well, good enough. It's scheduled, so I would like to see our members here. It's just good review, and again, it's part of our policy, so please take advantage of one or the other. And I think overall, everyone's accepted to it and in and around their personal schedules.
Yeah,
So,
I'll be attending the virtual one just in case.
okay,
I plan to try to make it to both.
very good. Next, we have approval of minutes, and I would ask that we table those.
I make that motion to table.
Very good, thank you. All in favor of
I'll
that?
second it.
Oh, thank you, Mrs. Moran. Seconding that, all in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Gentlemen, you all set there, Mr. Burgess?
Get the newspaper.
The newspaper? What about the newspaper?
Get the newspaper.
He told me, yeah, okay. Seems like there was something else I needed to say. Is there anything else? No?
Renewals or-
Yeah, there's slots open on the board, and I believe Mr. Burgess and Mr. Obimba have both put your applications back in. I think beyond that, we have some other slots still available, and the ZBA, as well as other boards, are always looking for participants from within the community to sign up and take part in some boards and assist that way.
I think there's a planning commission seat open also.
Really?
Yes.
What?
Okay. Where's the planning commission meet?
Meets up in Manchester
Oh, okay.
once a
Well,
month.
If anybody would like to go with Mr. Tripp to the planning commission, you're welcome to do that.
Yeah, it's, there's lots of interesting things discussed. You know,
Okay.
most of them have to do with grants and money that's being given to the towns.
Oh, okay.
So
Good to know. And
Yep.
thank you very much, Mr. Tripp. I still think there's something else I'm forgetting, but I don't know. I'll call you.
You didn't even think there was any correspondence. What else would there have been?
I'm on a roll. That way, we can take a motion to adjourn if everybody would like.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Mr. Burgess. Do I have a second, please?
Second.
All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we're adjourned. Have a good night.